Hello and welcome to Let's Play Gear City. This is Negative Root, and this will be the final episode for this Let's Play with Imaginary Motors. Waiting for 1.15 to come out in the game. I kind of shelved this because it was reported that 1.15 would break all saves. So I kind of decided to put the game aside for a moment and not push it too hard and burn myself out before Eric, the wonderful dev, brings out the really good stuff for the game. So we're going to use this episode as kind of a bit of a recap, run through what we did historically, how we went, look at the decisions that I made and what that meant for the company, Imaginary Motors. We did alright. I'm a bit bummed about ending this series because we're doing alright. We're making some money, like $4.5 million a month. We're in a good profit. This month, for example, we had a tax payment of 1.5 plus R&D costs of $250,000. So you take those out, we were in the clear by nearly $2 million a month. So pretty solid company. Something I was really concerned about was one of these factories. I reckon I'm building currently a 25-line super high-tech factory here in Detroit, and at the moment the production costs for factories are a little bit up and down. Like sometimes they work really well, and sometimes they're a little bit, shall we say, expensive. So yeah, I was concerned about how that was going to go because it was going to give us so much capacity to make cars. But yeah, the problem was going to be selling them for a profit, a decent profit at that. So yeah, this is how our map looked. We'd started in New York in 1900. We started with 2 models that were since discontinued and improved upon. But we've just been, updating our factory and making it better. And let's have a look here. So we've got, it was building 468 a month. If we were to resize it, it's currently got 8 production lines, and the reason we didn't start with 8 production lines, we only had 6, I reckon. And the reason it was growing was because of the manufacturing growth. So that was increasing the capacity. I believe that's how it works. If that's not how it works, please comment in the comments and correct me. But from there, we branched out. We made more dealerships, or more branches rather, and they recruited dealerships to sell our product. And through each branch, we made, for example, Baltimore making a good amount of money. It was making 84,000, and yeah, very, very good. It, we were selling quite a few cars and making a good amount of money there. In North America, our demand and our supply of the pickup was very good. We were selling, quite a few of them. The demand for these were, they're quite strong. But we never really sold many of them. We just didn't really worry about them overly much. It was more these larger cars. So the demand for the sedan and the pickup were much stronger in North America. So that's where we kind of focused our efforts. And we did okay. Like, we made plenty of money. So yeah, that's North America and how we went from there. Now, early in the game, I decided to make a move into London. Now, this was always planned to be a bit of a be in it to win it kind of approach, because like in this branch, for example, there's competition. Like, we've got Renault selling its coupe. So I wanted to be over there to make sure that I wasn't just getting completely run over by these companies. I was there and I was competing and I was doing something about it. And as you can see, we had huge numbers. Like the compact car, the Phaeton, and especially the sedan, did really well. The full-size sedan, very good. The luxury and the pickup, never expected the pickup to do well in Europe, and it didn't. The demand just never was there, and I didn't really worry about it overly much. So yeah, we focused on majorly on those things, and then we opened our factory here, and it made a couple of things. It made sedans, and it made luxury cars, it made Phaetons, and that was it. I reckon I imported all the compact cars from the United States though, which you know, if we were moving forward with this game, I'd probably look at creating a factory somewhere else in Europe to make the compact cars, because they're in quite high demand there. So that's possibly what I would do there. Now, the next place we were selling was also in South America. Now, I kind of moved down here as a bit of an experiment. Like, the company was stable, so I figured, you know, hell, let's have a shot at it. You know, the factory costs here are ridiculously cheap. You know, if we have a look at the expenses, and this is possibly where the expenses are a bit bugged, you can see that the Sao Paulo factory at 4 production lines is 47,000, and the, let's see if I can, nope, so 47,000, remember that number for expenses. And up here, the expenses are 161,000 for an extra production line. So, you know, 3 times the cost, and it comes back to largely the average labour wage. You know, that's huge. Also, the cost of the resources, I think, is a huge cost as well on the business in that location. So I created these factories just to see how it goes, and I must admit, I did play a bit of an alternate reality. I just played it through to have a look and see which way the game would go, and also to trial a few things. And I found that I kind of jumped the gun a little bit, having, you know, 8 production lines down here and relatively small markets to sell into. You know, I reckon this Rio was the biggest market I had, which was under $1 million, and the pickup went okay. You know, it wouldn't sell huge units, but we'd make a profit there. So I found that tweaking it down and just getting my production right for the market size actually turned out quite good. You know, I don't reckon I sold them at quite as big a markup. Let's just check it. So here's the pickup, and it's 1710. Let's have a look up here. Close things down. Distribution. So the pickup was, well, it was the same, 1710. So, you know, I was selling, you know, 36 up here. I was selling, you know, around 10 in each branch in South America. But I figured, got to be in it to win it. You know, there was zero competition here, so I could basically sell my cars for whatever I wanted. You know, I sold 2 in Bogota. You know, that it is what it is. You know, you got to be in it to win it sometimes. You know, I sold 1 in Caracas. What was this? Belém, Brazil. Sold 1. You know, handful here and there, and I think with time, you know, this would improve and get better, and we'd sell more, and, you know, and so on and we go. So that's kind of an overview of the operation that we had up and running. Now, we ended up with 5 million banked. Now, we also had some interest in Ford. We had 50,000 shares in them, 21,000 in Peugeot, and 18 in that. So what I'm going to do is actually just sell these off and see what. Well, there you go. Made nearly $1 million profit there. So I'll just sell them. I'll sell these, and I nearly made 300,000 there. And I'll sell these. I made nearly 200,000 there. That's pretty good. Sell them. So that's just liquefied all my assets. I'm also going to do an IPO. 2 million. There we go. And just get as much as we can. Just to see what our company's worth. So all up, if we were to deposit everything that we got, our company would be worth 9 million plus assets, which I think is quite sizable. Now, what we'll do is we'll just go have a look and run through our different components and vehicles that we had. So let's start with the chassis. We started off with a pretty shitty chassis, and then we tried a few things before we started hitting a couple of winners here in the later game. You can see that this was a really pretty average chassis, but it was, sorry, this one, really average chassis for 86 bucks, and we then later beat that and had a Oh, hang on. Am I looking? No, I'm not looking at the right column here. You know, this same price. This one's a bit better in overall rating, and we started to really see some big improvements off the concept lines. So these chassis we were making as concept chassis, and we were just cranking the sliders on them. You can see that. Well, this one's still designing. You know, they're taking 400,000. That's 369,000, as opposed to the first chassis, which cost us 40 grand. So yeah, we used the concept idea to great advantage, and started to get a bit of upward mobility there with what we were making. You know, there was a definite uptrend. You know, at the start we're getting 5, 5, 6, a 5, and a 5, and an 8, and a 6 overall rating. You know, here, the last chassis that we were making was going to be a 62. So that's a 10-fold increase, like literally actually a 10-fold increase on what we could originally design, you know, 8 years ago. So very, very, very good. Lots of improvement there. And we saw basically the same thing with our engines as well. You know, use of the concept engines. You know, this inline 4 naturally aspirated. You know, by the third iteration, you know, we were doing pretty well. You know, the overall rating, like, this is a bit of a shitbox in between here. Actually, no, that was the badge, sorry. I'll come back to that. But this, you know, you can see the unit cost just falling. You know, we went from, you know, here with max sliders to here with max sliders, and we're saving, you know, well, $280 basically, $279 per unit, and we're getting a you know, a 21 better rating out of it. So that was, you know, we saw some really big improvements in the concept line there between the first iteration and the third. Now this little badge engine, it turned out to be a really big winner because I tweaked it. You'll notice that the power is shithouse, the fuel economy is good, the reliability is good, and the overall rating is 54. The unit cost, very, very low compared to, you know, say something like this where you've got an overall rating of 24. So I've effectively doubled the overall rating there by use of just tweaking what that engine is actually for. So this was to go into a compact vehicle which has certain requirements, being fuel economy and reliability, and I just tanked everything else. And yeah, that concept car, sorry, the compact vehicle, not the concept vehicle, the compact vehicle that I made worked out really well. Gearbox, so pretty much more of the same. You know, we went through multiple iterations and we started to see some really good improvements in the overall, but it did take time. And gearboxes was something where the unit cost we were still struggling with. Like these max slider ones, they were just expensive basically to put into cars. We had to find some compromises. Like for example, this gearbox was to go in. It was a manual 5-speed geared for fuel, and it was to go. Well, I should say 4-speed, but anyway, it was to go into that compact vehicle that was aimed at fuel economy and reliability. So you can see the power way down, and so is the performance, but really lightweight, and it got an overall rating of 43, and the unit cost was quite low. When you compare that to say something like this, you know, the overall rating is a 40, but it's going to cost us $310 each to put in. You know, that is a huge difference, and this was much more suited to the kind of car. So yeah, use of the concept vehicle and then actually gearing what we're going to put into each vehicle and targeting that was a key thing. So yeah, we moved through a couple of iterations of every vehicle. The compact, the second iteration compact, and also the second iteration cruiser, they were about to come out. And yeah, in my continued playthrough, I found that yeah, this second generation, even though it cost me over twice as much to put in a vehicle, it hit it out of the park with popularity. That was the badge engine that I had. So putting that in there, it was yeah, it worked out really, really well. Really popular, and it really let me take it to the European market. So yeah, that was that. We stuck to majorly like those 5 main ideas. So the sedan, the pickup, the Fate, and the full-size sedan, the luxury sedan, and the compact. We didn't really branch out from that any, because it was the more models you have, the more complex the game becomes, and it's a little bit tough at the moment to manage multiple bodies. Like if you're selling 3, that's really easy, and you can really fine tune things and play around with the numbers and get it really nice. As soon as you have 5 or 6, and for example, you want to sell the pickup in North America, but you don't want to sell it in Europe, but you want to sell the cruiser everywhere, but you only want to sell the compact in Europe and not North America. You only want to sell the pickup in South America and nothing else. It gets complicated to manage all of that and manage it effectively, and that's something that Eric's working on with what he's doing in the programming side of things. But yeah, it obviously a very powerful game, and a lot of fun. So that kind of finishes the overview of the vehicles. Yeah, I think that let's have a look here. Annual report. So, we did really well. We saw changes in like a 50% increase in our sales year on year. So, this, well, that was, sorry, I'm reading it wrong. So this is the monetary value of our sales. It went from 63.5 million to nearly 100 million. So a 50% increase. That's pretty good, big. Our costs increase, and everything increased basically. Cost of the labour actually went down. Marketing increased a lot. Cost of racing, that's yeah. So the net expense, operating profit. There you go. So we're actually running in the deficit for 1907. Go figure. Paid about the same amount of taxes, but we had less income. And then there's our production. So we what we produced and sold, our inventories as they sit. Now I want to see is just I want to see if I can. I just want to see if I can look up generate report. If there is a total sales for each of my vehicles. Fiscal sales and production best-selling vehicles. Vehicle type total sales. That might be it. I might have to have a bit of a play around here and find something. Model total revenues and production. No. Average sales, estimated revenue, production, inventories, production, sales, inventory. I might see if I can just add this to this and save it as total sales. Okay, we'll see if this is here. Total sales view. Yep, might have to jump forward another month. That's alright. You can do that. Boom, $1.5 million, no worries. Oh, our stock price jumped as well, $60. Wow. Now reports, and we'll just see if total sales view. Okay. So you can see that, yeah, we're pretty much outselling them everywhere. That's not what I'm after. I wonder if I can find it somewhere. This vehicle, this here. Nope, not there. I wonder where this is. Contract, no, won't be there. It's got to be in here somewhere. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Oh, there we go. So we had well, there's market share. So that's a good graph. You know, in terms of market share, we did really well. We had over 60%, and that was because of our. Go. Wow, we're running at a big net loss. So as I said, you know, concerned about the future of the company. Model sales by city. Nope, can't do that. History. Nope. It's got to be here somewhere. No. So that's the world report. It's not in there. I was not very good at things. I was pretty. It's pretty low. Well, it's pretty early in the game. Is the word I'm looking for. It's gotta be here somewhere. It's like all-time sales. Not 50. Let's just try that one. Okay, save it. Done. We'll skip forward another minute, and hopefully this will tell me. Whoa, 3.2 mil. That's pretty good. Happy with that. Right. So let's have a look here. Oh, there we go. So that's of this year. Damn it. But you can see that I've got the top 4 vehicles, and then it comes into the compact. So, and after that, it's kind of all my. Well, actually, no, that's all old stuff. But you know, the company was sitting in a really good spot, and moving forward, you know, I was worried about a few things, but I was pretty happy with the way we were going. So yeah, that finishes up our Gear City Let's Play. I will be back with more, I promise you. I'm just waiting for 1.15, and then I've got a few plans in place. I'm planning to do a bit of role playing with and actually play as a few different companies. So create the situation in which the company was created, and their ethos and the way they do business, and try and recreate that in Gear City. So if there is a car company that you would like to see me play as, please comment, tweet me, you know, send me an email, get in contact with me, and let me know what you would like me to play as, because I think there's lots of replayability in this game. Because it is so complex, I think the real charm will be in actually narrowing it down and going for something exact, rather than playing as, you know, the generic imaginary motors that was, you know, one day if we kept playing this, we would have sold every kind of car. But you know, going for like your Koenigsegg's of the industry that sell, you know, a sports car. Well, Koenigsegg only sell really a supercar, but you know, those boutique dealers that sell, those boutique manufacturers that do one kind of car and that's it. You know, making them kind of work. You know, if you want to see me play as, I don't know, Great Wall or something, you know, budget ute builder out of India, I'm able to give it a crack. But yeah, you got to tell me what you want to see, and I'll do it. Thank you very much for joining me. I've been Naked Root, and I'll see you in the next video.